Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WBB Mason Coaches Show. I'm Rachel Vogel here with head women's basketball coach Krista Kilburn-Steveskey. Coach, Happy New Year.
Same to you, Rich.
So the Pride finished 3-1 in the month of December, only 4 games, but you ended on a 3-game win streak, which is the longest since the 15-16 season. You won games against UMBC, Siena, and Wilmington, Delaware. We'll go into it a little bit game by game, but give me a brief rundown on some of the things that you saw and liked during the stretch.
Well, I liked, we had 3 different types of games. UMBC was an interesting thing when I look on the bench in the first quarter and have all my starters sitting there with 2 fouls. So just very pleased with P, Jalen, Kayla, Val, Kai. Everybody came in, gave great minutes, and just really tried to help pull the team together when obstacles and adversity that hits that are out of your control. You can only control the controllables, and they just gave great minutes, had an incredible second quarter, played good in the second half, and then allowed Boogs and Lex, Anna, all those folks that were just riddled with a lot of fouls and a little bit of on the struggle bus. So that was a really nice, kind of an awakening and showing what all the coaches say to the players all the time. Your number can be called any moment at any time, and we need everybody. And so that game was awesome. And anytime you're playing a road win, get a road win, it's never easy. So just different adversity and how we handled that. So that was great to come out with a win at that game.
Yeah, so UMBC, as you said, it was kind of tough to get going offensively, but Boogie scored 10, 8 alone in the fourth quarter. What clicked for her late down the stretch?
Yeah, again, I think too the controllables in the first half that some things were out of her hands, and and then I think she let the game come to her a little bit better in the second half, and then hit the buckets when we needed them.
Okay, and then Siena Boogie was again the leading scorer. She hit a couple clutch threes down the stretch to kind of pull away a little bit. How did that game go for the Pride?
Well, first we came out of the gate swinging. That was probably one of our better first quarters. I think the team was excited. They were motivated. We had like a nice little confidence that it was good to see. And some people take games differently with teams. I thought we were just excited for our last game. Going into the holiday season, and they get a chance to be with their family and friends. So I like that. So whatever kind of motivates us, and we actually kind of hit it, instead of, as some coaches would get frustrated, we actually did gingerbread houses the day before, and I tried to have a different attitude about it instead of like masking and saying, hey, don't be already home, don't be already this, we have a game on our schedule. So, but end of the day, it's how the team reacts, how they respond, where their mindset is, and I think that's always the juggernaut or the puzzle piece that coaches try to figure out the pulse of their team, and so came out strong. Anna played probably one of her better games even on the defensive end, and then obviously Boogie had an extremely strong offensive game, all the way down to Sika. I think she had something like 14, or not 14, but she had a lot of rebounds. She had 14 in the Delaware game, but she had a ton of rebounds and was leading us on the break, and just played a good game when she was under the weather as well. With a lot of folks that were, suffering from some colds and things. So it was just a great team win.
So you mentioned Anna. She did have one of her better games.
Great.
She actually had a career high 6 assists in back-to-back games, Siena and Wilmington.
That's great.
What is it like having a different player step up in a different category almost every game?
Well, we always talk about how well Anna understands the game and knows the game, and her value on the floor just surpasses even her shooting the 3. Everyone thinks Anna's your best shooter. Yeah, she can drill that 3, but she just has great aptitude and understanding of the game, and she makes everybody else better around her. So just as she's getting her confidence back and playing like that, and she knew she had a big task, ahead of her, and we knew we needed to take care of Maddie Sims and her rebounding ability, and so Anna did a great job. She did a really good job, and her and Bugs led that break. Our transition was in full force, and did a good job breaking that press, and it was just nice to have a win before the holiday.
Right, and as I mentioned, the Pride only had 4 games in the month of December. How does the Hofstra get back into such a demanding conference schedule?
I mean, it just happens, right? It's upon you, and there's no slowing down. We have 18 games starting with 1, Friday, Sundays, and it's just this time of year. I mean, it's nice that kids don't have classes right now. So now that balance of, how long to go. This week is a kind of a bear. Right after, the New Year, you play on a Saturday. You've got New Year's Eve. You got New Year's Day. We don't play till that Friday. So this kind of stretch is a little bit of a bear, but then it just hits you right in the face, and you got a game every week. So it's nice to be at home. That's kind of a first. So it's nice to be at home, and against a really good William & Mary team. So it's just going to test us, right away.
Right, so previewing those two games, William & Mary this Friday night, and then Elon on Sunday. Last season, the Pride went 1-1 against the Tribe. One at home, lost on the road. Pride will be again tasked with stopping Bianca Boggs, just named the CAA Player of the Week. What will that be like this week?
She's just really coming into her own. I mean, watching her on film and watching her grow, you know, in Ed's system. You know, she is definitely the main focus. I mean, they have other kids that can perform and play well. Their freshman point guard, Ava, looks like a solid, you know, really solid point guard for Ed. Be a good one to see her now for 4 years. But to see what Boggs is doing on every aspect of the floor, whether it's like shooting the passing lanes and getting steals, leading the break, playing the backup point. Really, he's kind of bouncing around between, you know, the freshman point guard and Pollard and Boggs. So she's just, you know, I think she had 25, 26 in her last contest, and she's just flying all over the stat sheet. So you know, she's just their pulse of their team, and you know, and she's going to be, you know, hard to stop.
Right. So and then Sunday 1 o'clock versus Elon, a very tough Elon team, back-to-back CAA champs. Although a very young team this year. What will be the key to taking that game this year?
You know, I try not to look too much. I've seen them under common opponents, and I mean, they're a different look than they were last year. But you know, Charlotte does a good job of developing her team throughout the year. So you know, we got to take care of Friday, and Coach Khan's got that scout for Sunday. But you know, they're different. I mean, there'll be inside out. You know, the things that, you know, Charlotte, you know, pushes. You know, as the type of coach that she is, and you know, so it definitely won't be. there's no walks in the park. The park strolls are over now. Now it's just night after night after night, being prepared and being ready to go. So take care of Friday, and then we'll turn right around and get our sights set to, you know, beat Elon on Sunday.
Okay, sounds good, Coach.
Thank
so
you.
The Pride looks to keep the streak going. Looks to make it 4 straight as they open up CAA play. First against William & Mary Friday 7 o'clock, followed by Elon at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Both games set to take place at the MAC complex. Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Rach.